Good morning from AMESBURY TV. Wishing you all well, of course, right? So you asked me to do a video on this subject matter previously, but I never got round to it. But there's no time like the present, because in the last hour or two, there have been new developments surrounding the court case of convicted MP MiKE AMESBURY, right? He is already serving a 10-week prison sentence for punching and knocking a member of public after being confronted to the floor, and then continued to punch him a few more times whilst being on the floor, witnessed on CCTV and bystanders alike. And also some of you asking, with my experiences of being in prison, do MPs get treated different? I.e., are they open to getting attacked by other inmates for simply being an MP because of with their line of work and duties on the outside world? Do they go on the protection wing? Are they asked to go on a protection wing? I answer that simply in one moment. So, in the last hour or two, it is being stated that he will be appearing back in court to appeal the 10-week prison sentence, right? Remember this, the victim, Mr. Fellows, he could have fell really badly after that punch and really got a much more serious injuries. So he appeals against he's appealing against the 10-week prison sentence. And at the same time, it's interesting that the Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, is asking for him to resign or a recall, because she wants an MP, another MP in place, in that place where he was working and residing at, which I thought was Runcorn or Helsby, but I believe that he was an independent MP whilst awaiting sentence for this vicious assault in Cheshire, and still getting paid his 90 odd grand wages that he still continues to get paid whilst he's in jail. Now, it is stated also that there's no ruling or automatic suspension for getting arrested for assaults and things like that. But it would seem that he wants to get out as quick as possible, but he would have been appealing anyway against the 10-week sentence, because he would want to be able to answer the call that Yvette Cooper's suggesting, so that he could be there to still say, well, look, I'm still here, kind of thing, and still hold on to his position. I can't see it being likely. It does seem like one rule for one and one rule for all, when you think that the other day they was on TV saying, yeah, Tommy Robinson couldn't be a leader of this and he couldn't represent anything positive by way of something like an MP because he has previous convictions. But yet, you've had many that have committed criminal convictions, and this one is really quite serious, really. But they can still hold positions, still get paid for it. The old arguments. But with my experiences being in prison, they must be, just because they're MPs, it doesn't mean that they can't hold their own. We know the story that I told you about when Jeffrey Archer came to Belmarsh in the summer of 2001, and I went to look at lifted up his hand, and he put to look at his watch, right, during my baddie days, and he's quite clearly a man that could hold his own and wouldn't be taking no shit off anyone. A different environment for him in a prison environment. And he looks very much not similar to Jeffrey Archer. I don't think he was a better writer. He could never be a better writer than Jeffrey Archer. But they are asked to go on protection, and many don't, right? Unless they're in for sex offences or something like that. So they turn up and they hold their own. And him, Mr. AMESBURY's, looks like he can hold their own. Now, years ago, there was somebody of that nature, right? An MP. But not so much that he's an MP and the work he does outside, but just his attitude can piss people off. And he got a clump, he got a punch, right? So their attitude towards certain things won't be to everybody's cup of tea. But let's get this right. A lot of prisoners are not really into politics, and they don't care whether they're coming in, for cash for questions and using, their position for financial gain or to better themselves rather than the people that they're meant to serve. Unless, of course, that MP there is a inmate in there that is from their area that remembers something that didn't go in their favour, and they can try and get you done and all that. But it's very, very unlikely and doesn't really happen to MPs that go to prison. So I think that answers about that bit of it. But no, it's a funny state of affairs that you could be in such a position and basically still get your big money wages and still go to prison and still get paid. Will he get his appeal? That's going to be an interesting one, you know. But just letting you know, and I'll be up later. Just going to do an interview right now.